Are you turning it on? Okay.
Yes. Okay, so I'm now calling the meeting to order. It's 7:05 on February 21st. This is the February meeting of the Commission on the Status of Women. So the first item of business is approval of the meeting minutes from January 8th, 2024, but they have not been posted yet. So we will revisit that at our March meeting. The next item is public comment. Michelle, is there anybody who is waiting?
Yes. Okay, I'm going to pass it to Romney Donald. Go ahead.
Hi. Hi.
Oh, hi.
I didn't raise my hand. Is my name
Oh,
on there?
I'm sorry.
Hi, Romney.
Hi, everyone. How are you?
Okay, and we have one other attendee in case anyone wants to raise their hand for public comment. Otherwise, thank you for joining us.
Michelle, I was just wondering, would Romney maybe have their be on mute by accident? Can we tell if they're on mute by accident?
Oh no, I'm purposely on mute, but sorry. I did want to make a comment or get everyone's kind of feedback or put something on the record. This is a little impromptu, so my thoughts are not particularly together yet. I do know that as of now, everyone is starting to learn more about LaToya Fernandez resigning. So I just hope that the city is going to do their due diligence in replacing her effectively. And also if there are, things that are going on behind the scene, that those are brought to light appropriately. And also just to find out what this commission or what this commission's involvement might be in replacing LaToya, and what that would look like. But yeah.
Thanks, Romney. I appreciate your observations, reflections, and request. I mean, I don't know. We actually have that item on the not our involvement, but I think that was going to be raised by Michelle at some point. But we could mention it now. Obviously, Romney already did that earlier this month. LaToya resigned from her position. I am not familiar, we have had no discussion about what role, if any, or how the commission might be part of some sort of selection process. I would have totally defer to, Michelle and the mayor's office on, if we collectively felt that we wanted to participate in that, I think we could make that known, but we certainly have not had any discussion yet about that. But thank you very much.
It's okay if I add just one thing?
Of course, please.
Yep. So the mayor is putting together a search committee to fill the vacancy as soon as possible. And the position they're going to post it as soon as possible as well. Thank you, Romney. We appreciate that.
Michelle, was there anyone else waiting to make a comment?
Not with their hand up. Nope.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so we'll go on to new business. So the first item under new business is from the Diversification of Boards and Commissions Committee. I can turn it over to that committee.
Hey, everyone. So we met with LaToya actually last month, and it was actually what I thought was a fruitful meeting. And I'm a little upset that she's leaving, but we did meet with her to check off some of the boxes on a few of the pending items that were in our original presentation on diversifying boards and commissions. We also met with her to talk about ways that we can engage and collaborate. But given that she is now not with the city, I just hope that we can continue to work with the city and Michelle to try to continue to move forward some of those efforts. That's all I have on that. Well, actually, I do want to state one thing. If you guys can see in the notes, we were moving really close to getting the city to start counting or pulling the data on gender and race for boards and commissions, which is something we've been trying to work on for a while. And we were very, very close to that. And she also wanted to work with HR to establish some trainings for onboarding with new commissioners on boards and commissions. And that's my update.
I just have thanks, Sharon. Michelle, maybe you could, is there somebody we could work with during the recruitment process? So what, before someone is new in the DEI position, to keep moving on some of those pieces that we did discuss with LaToya last month? Or is everything kind of on hold until that position is filled?
So I think that's a good question. I know LaToya was working with the legal department to see if it was legally possible to gather demographic data for boards and commissions. And then for the human resources and establishing trainings, I know she was working with the human resources team. So I can check in with the legal department on the first item and see if there's someone that you all can work with in the interim from HR that was working with her. I can find out who that was.
That would be great. Thank you very
Sure.
much. Okay. Excuse me. The next item is the film Tough for a Girl about the Norwalk female wrestlers. So I'm not sure who was that Shannon, were you gonna speak to that or no? I'm not sure who had an update on that. Michelle, do you know?
No, I don't think I was supposed to, but I don't.
Okay.
I think there was just a minimal discussion about how great that film was at the festival and potentially inviting, I think it was a mother and daughter to an upcoming meeting, or just, the idea of talking about it in general in case we wanted to utilize that great local resource. But just up for discussion. I didn't see the film, so I can't go into depth about it, but I know it's really, really inspiring.
Yeah, I can jump in here. I did see the film. It's a short documentary about Callie, who went to Nork High. She's now at private school. I think she's at Choate. She's a wrestler, and obviously it's about her wrestling experience, wrestling with men and being a woman. The mother has actually started a women's wrestling organization in Connecticut. So she's kind of a trailblazer on her own. Perhaps we could think about down the road when we have a women's event that we invite them in some way, maybe show their footage or the documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Idea.
Mm-hmm. Great. Meanwhile, does anybody know, do you know, Sharon, if it's like available on Netflix or how we could view it if we want to?
Yes, it's on like YouTube. There's a link, NPS.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. So, yeah, so maybe I think it would be good before we agree. I mean, it sounds like it would be a great thing to incorporate into an event, like you say, Sharon, or to have them join us at something, but maybe we all try to watch it in the next month or two, so we can know kind of how we feel about doing that, but it sounds great.
Yeah,
So,
I'll send the link out after the meeting.
that would be great. Thank you. Okay, the next item I will turn over to, well, I can say that I'm stepping down as chair. I let Michelle know, and last month, I think. And so we agreed that I would stay, or I said I would stay on through up to the April meeting, and that we would have, so that all of you have notice and hopefully can get inspired to step up to run for chair. So announcing it today, and then we don't want to have an election at the March meeting because we want to present our awards. So we would vote for a new chair at the April meeting. I don't know if there's anything else to be said on that, Michelle.
So yeah, anyone interested in I guess running for or being selected for chair, please feel free to email me or feel free to voice your thoughts now as well. But we would love, thank you so much, Claudia, for serving as chair. You've been amazing and very diligent and organized and thoughtful. And I know the rest of you would make great chairs too. So I just encourage anyone to think about it.
Great, thank you. Yeah, and if anyone has, wants to talk to me about what it's been like or how much time I've, anything, just reach out. I'd be happy to. And just so to for the sake of transparency, I stepped up in February. No, is that right? I became vice chair in September or in October of 21, and then now 22. Now I'm confused. I stepped up to be chair when Anna left at the beginning of last year. So it was the beginning of last year, February. Or January. Anyway, so, and just, a lot of other like work related things, a lot of work travel. And so all of that is getting larger, and I just, it is an honor to be on this commission and to serve as chair. I just feel like I would like to share the opportunity, but also recognize my own sort of time limitations. And so just want to be open about that. So yeah, Shannon.
I would be interested in staying on as vice chair, but I don't want to be chair. So hopefully somebody is willing and able to put their name forward to help lead us into this next year.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree thank you, Shannon. That would be great. And, I also, as long as you'll have me, I'd love to stay on the commission and continue to do like the various things I'm doing. And I think every chair will do her own thing, right? As we are now. And so it would really be, I think if you think about it as an additional responsibility of working with Michelle to prepare the agenda and leading the meetings once a month, I mean, that is, and then beyond that, it's whatever you're already doing, right, for the commission. So it's not a very heavy lift in that regard. So please consider it.
Yeah, Michelle does make it easy for us. She has it all ready
Yes.
to rock and roll. So that's a huge help.
Yes, 100%. All right. Moving on to the Community Outreach and Civic Engagement Committee. The first item under that is the Impact Award. So for the update on that, I'm going to turn it over to Christina with huge appreciation for your continued leadership on this. And I'll turn it over to you for the updates.
Thank you. It's a pretty brief one. The nominations are open through this Friday, the 23rd. So please do consider resharing, reposting. Michelle, maybe we can get another reboot on the social media if they allow for second posts. We have 8 nominations. At this time, we definitely want to stress or hope to receive more nominations for youth, the youth nomination or the youth award. But at this point we have 8 nominations. So I think that's a manageable number. I'd love to see more, of course. And again, the deadline is for nominations is this Friday, the 23rd. So hopefully we can get a few more nominations in as well. I'm going to be finishing the draft of the rubric and sharing it with our committee. Yvonne, Claudia, Sarah, I think you're on that. Forgive me, I'm forgetting who's on the social outreach committee. So I'll be sharing the rubric draft out with those folks, and looking forward to making those selections.
Great, thank you. Yvonne, you came off mute. Did you want to say something?
Yes, I had a question. I remember us discussing at a different meeting, probably getting plaques for the winners. And I don't know if we ever found out if we had money available to get those, or certificates, whatever it is that allow us also time, right? And we need to have enough time to get those.
We can definitely make certificates for if you guys would like those. The mayor's office can make those. I'm not sure about the plaques.
Okay, I think at some point we had inquired if we had any funding as a commission in order to get plaques completed. So I remember that ask went out. I just don't remember or recall the results.
I think that might have been my fault. I can find out if the plaques
Nope.
are preferred.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, in my experience, actually, if a plaque is available, there's also a certificate to go along with it. So obviously we'll definitely do the certificates, and if we can do a plaque, awesome. If not, that's understandable. Just let us know. Sorry, I wasn't sure where it was at. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks,
you.
Christina, for mentioning that, and Yvonne. And I agree. I think if we have some money, it would be great to get a plaque or, and I think we'll have the final, I think, yeah, I mean, can somebody, Christina, what was the process that we, or anyone else that we had discussed once the nominations close on Friday, the process for, kind of reviewing them, evaluating them, and then identifying the two awardees.
I'm going to double check my notes, but I believe that the smaller committee was going to review all the nominations and then make recommendations to the council. I'm trying to find my notes. Does that
Yeah, that sounds correct, Christina. Mhm.
Okay. And that's just to clarify. So that smaller committee are the people you just mentioned. So you, me, Yvonne,
Correct.
and Sarah. Okay.
Mhm. Yep. Correct.
All right. So, and then we should be able to do that. You know, we should find a time to, or maybe we just do it via email or, but by the end of next week. So like by like March the 1st.
Mhm.
So that would still give us time. No, not, yeah. End of next week is March 1st. Time to get plaques made. So that should
Correct.
work, assuming we have funds, but okay. So maybe then the four of us can regroup offline, and Michelle, if you want to be part of that or copied on that to kind of identify like when and how we're going to communicate and once Christina sends the rubric and the nominations. Does that sound okay? Okay.
That sounds good. I think that brings up one point that I think was Sharon's idea, just about celebrating the awardees at the meeting and who we might want to invite to speak. For example, if it's a member of the youth in the schools, if we want the superintendent or someone from the schools to speak, for example. Just wanted to bring that back up.
Mm-hmm.
If we wanted to invite anyone specific, because I think now would probably be the time to think about that.
Yes, because I think we had actually anticipated LaToya speaking at the awards. So yes, that is a good point, Michelle. Let me process that, or all of us maybe as a committee, and give some thought to that.
Yeah.
I'll send an email around for the committee to arrange a meeting next week.
Great, thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you all. And then the only other thing is the location for the March meeting, but we're still working on that, right, Michelle?
Yeah, that should be finalized by Friday, and we can email that out.
Okay. Okay. Great. Okay. So unless there's anything else on that, we can move on to old business. Okay. Old business. So an update on the menstrual equity law. So I did get a response from Sandra Foyes. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Baus. Okay. Which did really go through what they're doing, which is great. Really, she cited specific items within the law that I had cited in my letter to her and to the superintendent, and how they were trying to make progress and make sure that they're in compliance with the law. So that was very heartening. And then there was an article in the Hour, Norwalk Hour, earlier this month, the 6th, I think, of February, about the law and what efforts Norwalk Public Schools are making to try to ensure that they're in compliance. And there was some good input from community members about, not encouraging the city to not just do the bare minimum. So whereas the law says, for example, that there need to be menstrual products in one men's bathroom, one community member was saying, why limit it to one? Let's just make it accessible widely. So yeah, so it seems like so I did write back to Sandra, unfortunately, just today, but and just thanked her and let her know that we remain very eager to kind of follow the progress of this and let us know that I will follow up again later in the semester to see on behalf of the commission to see kind of how things are going with the implementation. So but that was heartening and positive. It'd be interesting to see, like from a statewide perspective, although that's not our remit, but to see how many school districts actually are complying with it. But that was good. So any comments, questions? Yes, Sharon.
I just want to say thank you for everyone who participated in that effort and making them aware of the law and then having them implement it, and then an article coming out about the work that they're doing. I think that's like pretty significant. So thank you, Claudia, for leading that up. Michelle, everybody involved in that. It's great work.
Yeah, thanks. I'm excited that they're and yeah, like appreciative that they're taking it seriously, Okay, next steps on proposing a name change to the commission. So I think at our last meeting, if not, I think right after that, there was a discussion or right before anyway, I don't have the minutes from January, but I followed up with the ordinance committee. Sorry, Sharon, did you have a question or your hand is up from before? Okay. And thanks to Sharon for sharing all various emails with me. I wrote to the entire committee, and there was some discussion. The chairwoman and Michelle spoke, and then we followed up. And I think, Michelle, could you share what the committee's kind of stances? I mean, so what I had written was kind of what we had discussed, and I'm happy to share that email with all of you, basically saying that we were recommending and we wanted, this name change to the Commission on Gender Equity and why, and I gave the rationale. I shared it with a few of you before I sent it. In fact, I think I did it right that same meeting because I was in the groove. But anyway, so I think the feedback, Michelle, was that they wanted to keep the word women in as well as gender equity, right?
Yeah, they wanted to propose adding gender equity, so making it the Commission on the Status of Women and Gender Equity to be in line with other commissions on the status of women kind of across the country, but still understanding why you all proposed it to be more inclusive and to add that language for your consideration.
So I'm not sure where we go with it at this point.
It's really long.
You beat me to it, Jasmine. It is
That's
really
just my
long.
thought.
That is just, that's a lot.
Christina, were you going to say something?
Well, I was just going to say, can you say it again, the full title again? That's how long it was. I'm so sorry. Can you just say it again? I was curious about something. Go ahead.
The Commission on the Status of Women and Gender Equity.
Michelle, were they specific whether it was the word status or women that they wanted to keep, or it was the combination of both?
That's a good question. I think that might have gotten lost in translation. I think if there's a recommendation to get rid of status to make it shorter, I'm sure we could propose that. But I don't think that came up. So thank you.
Could be Commission on Women and Gender Equity.
Yes, that would be the alternative in terms of what Yvonne said.
If I can, I'm still processing it. My first thought is you're talking about gender equity, but you're highlighting one of the genders first.
Mm.
Is that, I don't know. I feel like I get what they're trying to do, but I'm not sure that's necessarily a good thing.
That's why I was asking that question, because it could be the commission on the status of gender equity. If they want to know the status of it.
Honestly, it's kind of weird that you're saying women and gender, because women is a gender. So yeah, that's not ideal.
Right.
Yeah. And what did we propose again?
We proposed the commission on this. Hold on, let me go back to the letter. Hold on.
The Commission on Gender Equity, I think it was.
It was just Gender Equity Commission. I
Yeah.
think, right? 3 words, Gender Equity Commission.
Yes. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, we had said Norwalk Commission on Gender Equity was what we had recommended.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would, I guess I'm of the mindset that I wouldn't be comfortable moving forward with a yes or like and I know we don't make a vote per se. I know that's not what you're asking, but I think I want to process the feedback that we got, similar to what Sharon was saying before I kind of make up my own mind. I feel like I need a little bit more information. Because I also agree with Sarah's point. We're talking about gender equity, but then we're only identifying one.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to it. So I guess I wouldn't be comfortable with moving forward at this point until we as a commission maybe process it more. I don't know. I think it's important we have a commission name that reflects our mission.
Right.
So Michelle, what is usually the procedure when they make a recommendation? Can we go back? What usually happens with these things? Do you know?
Yeah, I think Claudia can talk to the ordinance committee chair, Lisa Shanahan, when you have another idea or recommendation. And then eventually they would put it on the agenda for a vote among the committee.
Can we vote on it next meeting?
Yeah, or even think about other options, right? I mean, just to some of what's being discussed, our bylaws, as we all know, pardon me for not looking at the screen, but our bylaws talk about, in terms of our purpose and function, to help to improve the status of women, girls, and other marginalized gender identities, such as transgender people and gender nonconforming people in the city of Norwalk. Not that we want to use that in the name, but that is to have women and gender equity, 2 points already made, does select one gender and eliminate others that we are also paying attention to. So I'm not sure what the answer is. I do think, yes, let's all sit with it and maybe look at our bylaws and think about a name that might be that would be more inclusive and that we could go back to them with. And maybe, you can feel free to reach out to me via email or text, whatever you want, and we could kind of circulate some ideas maybe before the next meeting. Yeah, Shannon.
I just think I understand the process, of course, of how we need to make the change, but at the same time, we're the committee and we need to own what we're going to be doing. So if the answer is we need to push back and say, this is, and I know we did that in your email, Claudia, but we go back again and we have a conversation and say, we understand why, what your feedback was, but as a commission, this is our focus and this is why we feel this works. And maybe it's not just Commission on Gender Equity. We need to dive in a little bit more and see if we can find better words, but if it's our work that we're doing and this is the work that we're doing, I think we have a right to push back on them and say, that's not what we're doing. And that right out of the gate pinpoints a gender that we're trying to make everybody equal. Like, it just, I think we could push back on them. At least I think it's worth a shot, or come up with something different. But like we said, we don't want it to be our mission statement to make it match what they're asking for. You know, that's what the mission statement is for, to go hand in hand.
Right.
And
Yeah, that's a
supplement.
good point, Shannon, because like maybe it's about providing a little bit more context and education around it.
Yeah.
And that's our duty.
And I understand that, you know, the mayor, you know, re-engaged this commission, and that's the name that it had been operating on in the past. Maybe they don't feel that he's going to want it changed. You know, maybe we just have a conversation, but I just don't think we should take no, you know, for an answer on this right now without really looking at it again.
I think that I appreciate that. I think that makes sense. So let's do this. I will forward to all of you the email I sent to the ordinance committee so you can see what I said. If you have, so, and then think about, should we just go back to them and say, you know, no, we really do want this name and this is why. What's missing from what I wrote? What else could we say? What more could we say? And then let's, you know, regroup on that, and we can do it via email. You know, we don't need to wait till March 11th to discuss it again. I'm happy to resubmit the letter to them once you all share your input. So, or not that letter, but a different letter, to your point, Shannon, if we decide we want to go back to them and say, no, we really do want this and this is why.
And Claudia, how did you receive their feedback? Email or during a meeting?
So I got emails from them, and then so I didn't get Michelle, shared their input to me.
Okay.
I did not. I asked for a conversation, and I was, Lisa Shanahan did respond right away and said, let's talk.
Okay.
But then she ended up speaking to Michelle, and Michelle shared with me
Okay.
yeah.
Michelle, was it in a meeting or?
No, a phone conversation.
Okay. All right, never mind. I was gonna ask if you could like share so it didn't even go.
I did write to the whole committee. I copied everybody, all the council members.
But the only feedback we received was from the chairperson.
Correct.
Okay.
And I did get some sidebar, at least one that said they were very supportive. So, but that was just one-on-one to me, not
Right.
everybody, not reply all. So
can there be a formal approach to, so I guess the question is if the feedback from the chair was representative of the council or an individual. I think that would be an important clarification to get.
That's exactly where I'm going.
And maybe, maybe we can ask for an in-person meeting with them to explain. All right.
It should be going to, technically you would send the email to the chairperson accepts it onto their agenda, and then it should go before the ordinance committee.
Okay. So I did not specific.
Yeah, it should be going to the whole committee for discussion, not unless the chairperson pushes back and won't put it on their agenda. That's a whole separate issue.
I don't think that's what happened.
Yeah, I don't feel that that's what she was doing, but
no, not at all. Yeah.
I think it should go to the whole committee, because maybe she misinterpreted something that we're doing, and the committee's like, oh, that makes sense. Let's do it.
So maybe in the second version of the next letter, we specifically asked for an opportunity to be heard at the committee meeting, which I don't think I did. I just asked them to, I said we respectfully recommend this name change. We look forward to hearing from you, and we're available for questions, but I didn't specifically ask to meet with them. So that will be one change to the letter. Is that request?
It would just be to, please be added to your, we have some stuff going on for March, but like be added to your April agenda.
Yeah, perfect. That's a great recommendation. And Sharon.
Just for consideration too is, with that event that we have, considering inviting the Common Council so we can build relationships with them, since we'll all be there and they can see our work, and maybe we could also talk to them then as well.
Great idea.
Sounds good. Okay. All right. So we have some good next steps on that. And so everyone, please I'll forward that email to you all, and then we can pick it up offline. Okay, thanks. The next item under old business is from the Community Outreach and Civic Engagement Committee. I don't know if there is anything else, Yvonne. Let's see.
No, nothing else because we have been working on the award mainly. We had another item, but we're gonna bring it to the next meeting because we are like really focusing on it's about the surveys and what to do with the results. But we'll wait until April after we are done with the awards.
Okay.
Yes. I just have one question. This was not previously discussed, but it's more curiosity as how it's going to impact our meetings. But did I read something about potentially the public comments rules changing on virtual meetings with committees in the city, or is that just like the Common Council?
That's the Common Council right now. I think basically what one change was that will, I think, affect all meetings is if someone submits a written public comment, it won't be read on the record in advance. And then I think they're trying to also have people establish their information, so like their name and address before giving public comment. Right now it's just the Common Council, but I can check in and keep everyone posted.
Great, thanks.
And that was unfortunately because of some Zoom bombing events.
Right. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks, Sarah. The next item is a old business for the Diversification of Boards and Commissions Committee. And there are a few items under that. Who would like, okay, Sharon.
I'll just go ahead. First, I want to recognize Black History Month. Shout out for Black History Month since we did mention it. So I'd like to thank Yvonne for stepping forward and now being a mentor for Jessica Edward, who is our new commission member. Thank you, Yvonne. We went ahead and sent her our pilot onboarding document that Christina, Jasmine, and I put together. And that's that. We'll see how it goes and we'll reconnect and you let us know your feedback and we'll continue to update that onboarding document. But thank you so much, Yvonne. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Christina, did you want to do a open position?
I'm sorry, Sharon, I neglected to prepare for that. Just
No
moving
worries.
forward, do you want me to do that on a regular basis? Because I think I
Sure.
failed in that responsibility last week as well.
It's okay.
Thank
It's
you.
okay. I have one anyways, so not to worry. So I think it's important to, in case anybody's listening, to let everyone know that if you type in Newark Boards and Commissions, you can go directly to the Newark Boards and Commissions page, and on the top right, it says vacancies. Click on that button and it will show you all the vacancies. The one that I wanted to mention was on the Board of Estimate and Taxation. District E has an opening there, and there's only one woman on that very, very important, I would call Power Commission. They're a budget setting body, very important work. They do very important work. And that's it. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Is there, so we have, that is the end of our agenda. Are there any other comments, questions, or items anybody wanted to raise? No? Okay, seeing none, then I will ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Move a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Thanks, Yvonne. And a second? Oh, Jasmine, thank you. All in favor, say aye or raise your hand. Okay, it looks like it is unanimous. All right, so the meeting is adjourned at 7:44, and we will see each other on March 11th, and we have various things to do between now and then. So thank you all. Have a good rest of your evening.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Bye.
Michelle.
Good one.
Bye.
Bye.